Okay, so we had a question from Ankita Patel, and the question was, where does fear come from? And I love that question because that's exactly the right question to be asking. Where is the fear arising from? And the more we can become aware of our conditioning, of our programming, the more there is the potential to recondition ourselves in a way that's more aligned with the true essence of who and what we truly are, and express it in the world. So the first question is the fear arising from something that's happening in this moment or right now? Or is it something I'm imagining could happen or might happen in the future? Or I'm having a memory of something that has happened in the past? And to make that distinction of where is the fear arising from? Is it something that's arising in this moment? Now, a hint is fear in this modern world is almost never arising from something that's happening in this moment, and almost always arising from something we're imagining about the future, and second, something that we are remembering about the past. So the thing that's critical to understand is most of the fears in the modern world are being created by our own minds, being created by imagining the future, being created by imagining the past, and they're not being created by anything that's happening in this moment. There are rare situations, a bear is going to attack you, someone's coming at you with a knife. These are things happening in the moment. When there is something that's happening in the moment, that's alive in the moment, there's a fear that's here in the moment, there's two kinds of fear. There is the fear for physical survival, and there is the fear for egoic survival. So the fear for physical survival, again, incredibly rare. It could happen, does happen. And that is when you're fearing for the physical survival of your body. Someone is violently attacking you. You almost fell off a cliff. You almost got in a car accident. This is the visceral fear for physical survival. Okay? Then there is the fear that comes from egoic survival. And this is not the physical survival, but the idea of who you think you are. And that is more prominent in our world than the physical survival, in our modern world than the physical survival. So the egoic survival are things like fear of being embarrassed, fear of what people might think about me, fear of being excluded from the group, these sorts of things, right? These are the egoic fears. Fear of loss of status, fear of loss of self-worth or self-value to the people around me. So these are the egoic fears that run through our minds that we may be exposed to in the present moment. So, first thing to distinguish is the fear happening in the moment? If it's not happening in the moment, then it's not real. If you're just imagining something about the future, you're imagining something about the past. So get into the moment. What's happening right now? Is this something that's alive in this present moment right now? If it is something that's alive in this present moment right now, is it a fear for physical survival or a fear for egoic survival? If it's a fear for egoic survival, those fears can be transcended by recognizing and realizing who you really are, that transcends the illusionary sense of a separate self, which we call the ego. If it's for physical survival, then you tune in to what is the danger that's coming at you, and you tune into the present moment, the intelligence of the present moment, and what is the most intelligent way to respond in this moment right now. When we tighten, when we contract in fear, then we're not available to access the intelligence of the moment. When we are able to tune into the present moment, tune into our breath, keep our body, our energetic field open, keep our mind, the energetic field of our mind open, keep the energetic field of our heart open, we can respond to a physical danger or a psychological danger or an emotional danger or what we could call a spiritual danger in a more intelligent way than if we contract, freeze, and tighten. There's a lot more I could say, but let's just keep it there right now. Really, really appreciate the question. It's such an important question right now. What I'll go into in the very near future, it's in my conscience to go into, is the perpetuation of the fear that is being pressed upon us every day by the mainstream media. I want to address that and illuminate some ways you can see that clearly and not get caught up in that programming, that pattern. Okay, love you guys. Be well.